If you are wondering which part of the CPA exam to take first, then this video is for you. Hey future CPAs, this is Ala Abu Daya. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Colorado and an AI CPA member. I also help students pass the CPA exam and become CPAs. If this is your first time here and you're interested in becoming CPAs, start by subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell in order not to miss any of my videos. A lot of students ask about which part of the CPA exam to take first. Now, if you are not familiar with any of these parts and do not have any idea about which part to begin with, I highly recommend you take the FAR part first, and that's for the following 3 reasons. By the way, if you want to learn more about the 4 parts of the CPA exam, watch the video above in the link above here to learn more about these 4 parts. Now, let's explain the 3 reasons why to begin with the FAR part of the CPA exam. Reason number 1. The FAR is the most intensive part of the CPA exam with tons of topics to know about, which means that you will learn a bit about a lot of different things. So that's why this part is considered the hardest part with the lowest pass rates. Once you've done with this part first, you remove a great study load from your way and you can easily study for the remaining sections of the exam. Of course, in order to be able to sit for the CPA exam, you must be declared eligible. If you want to learn more about the CPA exam eligibility requirements, watch the video in the link above here, which I explained about these requirements. Reason number 2. Taking FAR first will minimize the pressure of time you have under what is called the 18-month rule. The 18-month rule means that once you pass a section of the CPA exam, you have only 18 months to pass the remaining 3 sections, or otherwise you will lose the credit for that first passed section. So that's why it's recommended that you take the FAR part first in order to take your time studying for this part, which is considered the most time-consuming part. So you will study for it without any time pressure and without tough deadlines. Then, once you pass the FAR, the 18-month clock starts ticking, but you will not have to be worried because you have the hardest exam behind you. So you can easily spend the remaining 18 months preparing for the remaining 3 sections. That's why it's important to take the FAR first. Now, you don't want to pass the 3 exams and leave the FAR to the end to find out that it takes you longer time to pass it and that you are stuck with time, which may be a reason to lose your credits for the past sections which were earned more than 18 months ago. Reason number 3. FAR content overlaps with Rig and Audit. So while studying for Rig and Audit, you will find that these 2 parts assume you already understand the FAR content. So you must be familiar with the FAR content in order to be able to study Rig and Audit. I will give you an example here. In FAR, you learn about the receivables or inventory valuation methods. In Audit, you may be given a task-based simulation that asks whether or not someone valuated the receivables or inventory correctly and why, yes, or no. So you should have already studied the evaluation methods in FAR. That's why completing FAR first helps you build your knowledge and gives you a solid basis as you study for the remaining sections in order to be able to meet the skill levels that are tested in the CPA exam. To learn more about the skill levels that are tested in the CPA exam, watch the video in the link above here also, which I explain about these skills. So these are the 3 reasons why you should begin studying with FAR. Of course, at the end, it's up to you. There's no right and wrong answer here. Now, if you prefer beginning with other sections because you are more familiar with them and you feel that you can pass them easily, you can, of course. This will give you a good start point and motivation to study for the remaining parts. So for example, if you are an auditor and you have good knowledge in the audit material, it's a good idea to begin with the audit part of the CPA exam. Once you pass this part, you will be motivated to study for the remaining parts and pass them too. But be careful here. Once you pass this part, the 18-month clock begins to count. So you'll have only 18 months to pass the remaining 3 parts, which of course will include the FAR part, which is, as we explained, the hardest and longest part. So I advise you to begin immediately studying for FAR after you pass the first exam. Comment below and tell me which part of the CPA exam are you planning to take first and why. If you are planning to sit for the CPA exam, you must definitely understand the CPA exam structure, which I explained in the video here. So watch this video to understand about the CPA exam structure.